That's arenaclub.com/LockedOnNFL, code LockedOnNFL for 10% off your first purchase. Steve, if you want to pull up 282 for me, one facet of tonight's game, the core four has gotten a ton of attention for the Cavs, but their bench has been incredible through the first 9 games of the season, and so is Golden State's bench. If you look at the side-by-side of these two benches, you can see the ranking in the NBA next to their production. So they're both top 5 in minutes. They're top 7 in scoring. The guys who are ahead of the Cavs in bench scoring play a lot more minutes. In terms of three-point makes, it's number 1 and 2 in the league. Three-point percentage, top 10. They're 2 and 3 in assists. Both teams play 9, 10. The Warriors have played 11 and 12 guys legitimate minutes in games this season. Jason, if you had to pick one of the two benches to give an advantage to, which side do you think has a slight advantage in the bench matchup in tonight's highly anticipated Cavs-Warriors showdown?
I would probably say Cavs. The Warriors have to go deep because their guys are old. Steph, they're trying to keep a cap on Steph's minutes. I think Steph's 36 years old now, which is that's crazy to think about. And Draymond's obviously up there in age, so they're trying to preserve their veterans. I really like, and these teams are very similar in that they can beat you a bunch of different ways. The Warriors have been really good defensively, and they're aggressive on closeouts. They play really hard, which is how many times you heard me say, teams don't play hard in the NBA, especially teams with championship pedigree. They just don't care. Well, because I think this team has turned over enough, and because they have so many different faces now, they play. I think you're going to see I think tonight's going to be a lot like the Milwaukee games that you saw, where these are two teams out there busting their ass. Yeah. Because the Warriors, they played really hard against Boston, and that's they have to play that way. But I like the Cavs' flexibility. They can go big, they can go small, they can beat you with threes, they can beat you defensively. So I would take the Cavs bench slightly.
Doesn't Buddy Hield come off the bench?
He does come off the bench. Well, he plays starter minutes, but he's considered in the bench matchups.
Right. So, how are you looking at him? Are you looking at him as part of the bench?
I look at him as a starter. Okay. I guess technically you would have to call him a reserve.
Right.
But, I think he's second on the team in minutes.
I can tell you that right now. Hold on.
I think.
In terms of minutes, Steph has the most minutes.
But he's
that's
still
a lie.
low.
Pajemski has the most minutes.
Seriously?
No one plays more than 28 minutes.
Pajemski?
Brandon Pajemski, their rookie, who started 3 games, come off the bench for 4 games.
But right there, what you said, Mike, no one's over 30 minutes. They're like the Cavs.
Yeah.
Nobody, everybody's, what's Steph's minutes at, 28?
27.6. Heels at 26.1. Draymond 27.6. Wiggins 26. Kuminga 23, and then a bunch of guys.
Yeah. So Heels third or fourth in minutes.
5. They have 8 guys between 12 and 18 minutes.
I look at him as a starter. I guess that's probably wrong on me.
Yeah.
I probably should look at him as reserve.
Well, that's why the Warriors have way many more minutes for their bench because of Hield.
Yeah.
So if you look at those numbers, bring that chart up again for the bench points there, Mike, the bench stats.
Yes,
Buddy's shooting Buddy's shooting
50% from 3.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
50% from 3.
He's shooting better than
crazy.
Steph.
But if you can you bring that up again? Because the numbers are a little misleading. If you base, the Cavs are basically playing 3/4 of the minutes that the Warriors are playing off the bench, and their points are 3/4 of the points. So it's, even though it's like the Cavs are 7 with 40.6 per minute, it's much closer. It's about the same in terms of points per minute played. If you look at the comparison to
That's
minutes.
why I said it's the 2 most efficient and highest, really effective
and so
benches in basketball.
If you look at the Cavs making only 1 less 3 per game, and they're playing 25 less minutes off the bench, that's actually really good. I mean, the Cavs, and even the assists, if the Cavs bench played as much as the Warriors bench, they'd have equal or better numbers in all those categories. Yeah. So, the Cavs bench has been outstanding.
I think the Cavs bench has younger, fresher legs too. Ty Jerome gives you a lot. I like his energy level. I like when he comes in, he's aggressive. Isaac Okoro obviously is a guy who's going to be able to switch off on multiple dudes. He's shooting the ball pretty well. Karis LeVert's shooting the ball pretty well. The only thing that the Cavs lack off the bench is size. Is Dean Wade playing today?
Game time decision.
I would assume he'll be back, right?
It's a sickness.
Yeah, how do
you know?
By the way, I mean, the Warriors, all of a sudden, outside of Curry and Draymond, they're pretty young, right? I mean, who else is old on that team besides those 2?
I mean, Wiggins is old.
He's old?
2014 draft class. He's 10 years in the league.
How long?
Yeah, bro.
He's 10 years in the league.
All right, so
Kevon Looney's been around forever.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah,
but
Buddy
the
Hield's been around forever.
They're not like mid-30s old.
Right.
They're
They've gotten
They're
younger.
veterans.
They're basketball.
They best two, Draymond and Steph is older players. Like
Steph's still great.
he's still that dude. But that's the thing. When I'm talking about it, I'm just listening. I'm looking. I'm like, now we thinking about the old Warriors, like when they had prime. I mean, bringing the Livingstons, the Andre Iguodala's, the Durant's, the Klay Thompson, Steph, Draymond. They just kept bringing them dudes at you. Like they just had waves of them. Right. Now they're down to two dudes, and you look at Evan Mobley. See, this is where Evan Mobley is supposed to be the dude that you can't do nothing with. You got two bigs that are now running the floor, playing a better pace. Look at that. Bring that back.
Yeah,
now,
I mean,
you
he
see where
should dominate.
You see where he creating now, Jason? He's getting that ball at the top of the key. He wasn't able to get that off. He would take a couple dribbles. Now he's running the floor. He's creating from different other areas. They ain't got nobody for him.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see Draymond on Mobley. That's what I want to see.
Is that going to happen?
Draymond, I would imagine so.
Right.
Draymond's still good defensively.
Yeah.
Very good.
He plays chippy. He plays.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he's got the type of aggressiveness that in the past, Evan, I won't say like coward is too shrunk from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I'll be curious tonight to see. Evan has looked totally different this year.
Yeah.
Now let's see if he can do it against a player who's very aggressive. He's going to talk. He's going to be in his ear.
Oh, yeah. Does Evan Mobley want that Draymond Green smoke tonight?
What he's supposed to be able to do, this is what happens when you get a young player, and I like the fact that they amping him up. When in the NBA, when a player decides that they are him at that point in time, it's just different after that. Like, you can't speed them up. You can't really get into their head. They just calmly get to their spots and be effective. So if Evan Mobley, we're going to see if he has the unicorn status, because tonight what he should do is say, Draymond, you too small. I'm going to finish over the top of you. I'm going to take my time. You're going to have to foul me. And by the way, there's still another guy named Jared Allen that's down here that is shooting 60, 70% like under the basket. So I love the way that those two guys are playing. And if let's not get it twisted, Darius Garland is coming off a 39-point effort where Donovan Mitchell didn't have the legs. And now Darius Garland showed up and said, let me put the team on my back. So I just think when you talk about Garland, you talk about Donovan. We ain't got to talk about Donovan Mitchell. You know what he's going to bring to the table. Mobley and Allen. Yeah. I just think that they got too much. They got
Who's
too much
going to
right
guard
now.
Steph?
They put a Coro on him. They can run him off screens with a Coro. They could do some other
Wade?
things. Yeah.
No, they'll probably. I would imagine they'll start Darius on him. I would think.
On Steph?
Yeah.
I think Darius would be the one to start. But they switch everything now. And Golden State sets a ton of ball screens. I'd be surprised if they have Darius or Donovan, whoever his primary defender is, chasing over 3, 4, 5 screens. We're going to see a ton of Jared Allen and Evan Mobley on him, just based off the way the Cavs have switched defensively so far.
If Steph has it going, you'll probably see Okoro on. They'll bring Okoro in and try and put Okoro on him. But the Warriors are picking dudes up like half court. Like the Warriors are guarding, which they never did before. They didn't have to. They just outshot everybody.
Right.
Who's
guarding Jared Allen?
They are guarding.
Who guards Jared Allen for them?
I don't know.
If Draymond's on Mobley.
So they started Trace Jackson Davis.
I don't even know who that is.
A big man out of Indiana. And he played 16 minutes against the Celtics. Looney played 16 minutes against the Celtics. Draymond played 30 minutes. And then Wiggins slides over to the 4. So I'm guessing.
So those two guys will be on Jared Allen.
Draymond or Wiggins, one will be on Evan, I would think.
Yeah.
Probably Draymond.
And Steph guards Darius?
Steph guards Darius.
I think Wiggins picks up Dean or whoever plays the 3. Draymond takes Mobley.
And then who's guarding Donovan?
Pajemski or Moses Moody, who are better defenders than Steph.
Pajemski.
Pajemski can play.
And they're guarding. Like they
Yeah.
You're going to see them at the half court
line. I like
line
that.
picking guys
That's exciting.
up. Yeah.
I want to see defense and physical play, and I don't know.
Warriors
I'm really excited about this day. 7:30,
Warriors have
right?
the best 7:30. Warriors have the best defensive rating in basketball right now.
Yeah.
Which is a testament when you look at. Yes, Steve, you can take it. The second best. Sorry, Oklahoma City still is the best. But when you look at their roster, I'm just going to name guys. Tell me if you think any of these guys are like lockdown defenders for.
I never even heard of a couple of those players. I'm not going to lie to you. I
Yeah,
never heard of Pajuska or whatever the hell his name is.
Pajemski. He was a second-round pick last year who turned out to be a very good player. But they're playing guys like Draymond. We know obviously can defend. Trace Jackson Davis, Bolt, you had never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
He's an undersized big. He competes, but by no means is he like an elite rim protector.
Right.
Wiggins has the potential to be a good defender. Has never fully lived up to that. Steph Curry.
Yep.
Not known for his defense.
Nope.
Moses Moody, athletic,
Never heard of him.
hustles. He was a first-round pick. He's top 10 pick a couple years ago. Kuminga,
Heard of
athletic, but not a great elite defender. Kevon Looney, he's a pretty good defender. Kyle Anderson, Buddy Hield, Gary Payton II, who can defend. And they have a guy named Lindy Waters Jr.
I mean, that could be. You could be making that name up.
I swear to goodness,
Yeah.
no.
Have
he's
you guys
playing-
heard of this guy?
The left-hand pitcher in the Pirates organization.
No, he's playing close to 11 minutes a game, 12 minutes a game for the Warriors. He's playing.
Had you heard of him, Mike?
No, I'll be honest.
Even if Mike's never heard of him,
Came from Wichita State.
Went to Oklahoma State. That's close.
close. Oklahoma, Wichita. Who cares?
6'6", 210. He's averaging 6'2" and 2, shooting 47% from the floor, 40% from 3 on 3 attempts per game.
That's more stats than we ever.
Way
wanted to know about
too
some
many.
random
Way
dude.
too
But
much
he's playing
love.
15 minutes a game. Like
Yeah,
he's the
all
guy
right.
you're going to see tonight, and I couldn't tell you the first thing about him, but
Yeah.
I feel y'all amping these Warriors up. I got the Cavs by 15.
15.
Woo!
What's the spread, by the way?
I never looked.
that's a great question. I can tell you right now.
I think the Cavs are 8-1 against the spread, aren't they?
Cavs are 4.5-point favorites.
Are they 8-1 against the spread? Do you happen to know? I think that's the Bucks game at home they didn't cover.
I'm not sure.
If they get out to a quick start, Steve Kerr pulling Steph out of these games. They're not, if they down 15, 16 somewhere in the second quarter, they're gonna pack it in. Are they on a road trip?
Yeah, they were in Boston a couple nights ago. I don't know where they go from here. I don't know where their next stop is.
Yeah, this is
Warriors?
Yeah, where they going? They play tomorrow?
They go from Cleveland. They were in Boston. Then they go to Cleveland tonight. Then they're in Oklahoma City on Sunday.
Yeah.
Then they head back home after that.
Yeah, they got OKC. Hey, they're gonna pack.
Hey, you
this
talk
one
about
in.
a week's opponents. You
Yeah.
play Boston, Cleveland, Oklahoma City in 1 week.
If,
Oh, my
If the
God.
Cavs get up, they packing this one in. We're gonna get on these planes, boys.